We're at Sorinex today with Pops. Thanks for having us.
Well, thank you very much. and here's the next generation.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So tell us what's going on here today.
Okay, after 17 years, this is the celebration of strength. We have athletes from all over the world come in. We have the best coaches in the country, Olympic athletes that you'll be seeing in the upcoming Olympics. It's a celebration of strength and wellness. And we've been lucky enough to host it. And I'm just thrilled. I've seen old friends that started from day one with us.
Right. It seems like a lot of camaraderie and fellowship here today.
They leave their hey, little buddy. Hey, you okay? These are my grandchildren.
Oh.
They leave their egos at the door. They all want fellowship and brotherhood when they leave. People said it's changed their life just being together on a different level.
Yeah.
They're used to training, but there's so much more to training. You see in the background, it's a sea of weights, but it hasn't changed over the years. It's just gotten a finer edge to the sword.
Right.
And we're just happy to be here today.
So tell us about your background in weightlifting.
Okay, I started when I was 5 years old. I brought my first weightlifting set to show and tell. It felt real heavy when I carried it too. I built gyms with my friends in their basement, and I went on to get scholarships in both weightlifting, powerlifting, and track and field. And that's why I came down to South Carolina to make my home. And I was blessed with a fine son who is also president of the company. And he was in the Olympic trials for hammer throw. It's a personal challenge you had. You could compete against other people, which is great. And it makes it fair that they have different weight classes, so you could fairly lift against someone who's your body weight, not some giant. But it's the personal challenge to yourself, what you can do. Because each day you walk out on that platform, it's a new contest in your soul. You try to do your best, and maybe as years go by, I don't train like I used to, but I still love it. Love every bit of it.
I was an athlete in high school and then in college, and then since college, I've kind of really leaned into weightlifting.
What is it about weightlifting that you like rather than maybe playing a sport?
It just feels good. I feel like especially as a woman to be strong and not be scared of that. I found it very, very empowering. So that's probably like the biggest thing, is just like the confidence boost you get by moving a bunch of weight.
I was invited to come to Summer Strong to kind of see everything that Sorinex has to offer and kind of check out some of their weightlifting equipment and train a little bit and kind of be around all these really awesome other lifters of all kinds.
Yeah, so when it comes to weightlifting, do you like to do anything specific?
Yeah, so I'm Olympic weightlifting, which is clean and jerk and snatch. Snatch is a very wide grip lift, and then you bring it straight over your head, and it cleans a little bit more narrow. Bring it up to your shoulders, and then jerk it straight above your head.
So how did you get started with weightlifting?
Yeah, so I have always been into kind of the strength and conditioning aspect of life, I guess. I was a swimmer at South Carolina, so I was always kind of into fitness, athletics, all that stuff, and it's actually my job now is in athletics, so I was kind of looking for something that could keep me competitive and fit, and it's just fun, really awesome to see the gains you make. So I started weightlifting only about 5 months ago.
Wow.
Yeah, so been seeing some really awesome progress up until now, so I'm excited to kind of see where it goes in the future.
Yeah, so what is it about weightlifting that you enjoy?
I think it's a really fun, like, powerful feeling sport, and I love that, especially as a woman. I think it's really awesome to just feel really strong and powerful, and just being able to kind of see the progress. That's, you can see the progress in a lot of things in the weight room just numerically, but it's a very technical sport, so I think being able to kind of lock things in, and it can be really frustrating, but it can be really, really awesome to kind of feel that when something really clicks.
So I'm a private speed coach for mainly young athletes, but I work with older people as well in a personal training. So it's just overall athletic development in the private setting.
When it comes to nutrition, what does your diet look like, for example?
It varies. The number one thing is, obviously hydration. People skip over that. Make sure you're hydrated.
Yeah.
And then also, make sure you hit your protein number every day. People go back and forth, they argue over the 1 gram per pound of body weight, how scientific that is, but it's a good metric that's easy to track, to stick to. And once you get that, just make sure you get that protein number. And then I am not either a high carb or low carb guy. I think you can see benefits from both. But don't be afraid of carbohydrates. Just limit your sugar through most of the day. Not that sugar's bad, but sugar's like fire, right?
Yeah.
And it can be a very beneficial thing to you if you don't have insulin resistance. So if you're very insulin sensitive and you can keep your sugar low through most of the day, then you can time it out right and really use sugar as your friend and aid in gaining muscle.
For someone who's starting out weightlifting, do you have any pro tips for them?
Yeah, it would help for a beginner to make sure your form is right. Try to find someone who's a more seasoned lifter to just kind of like mentor you. Or if you can't find that, there's also a lot of resources online like YouTube and stuff like that to make sure you're doing it properly so you don't get hurt. But also like don't be scared to take up space in the gym. Like even if you're new, you absolutely deserve to be there, and like everyone starts somewhere.
For someone who's maybe thinking about starting at a little bit of an older age, any pro tips that you would give?
You got to keep it simple. You have to challenge your body. You have to coax it. You can't kill it. You need to coax it along, but keep things changed up, because the whole idea of strength training is being adapted to a resistance. And if that resistance or exercise doesn't change, or you do too much, it's worse than not doing anything at all. So you have to do things with moderation, mix some good stuff in like cardio and flexibility. That's something that I never dealt with in my younger days, and I feel it now.
Yeah,
I should have stretched more. I should have had cardio, not an over amount of cardio, but you need it to help flush out all the toxins in your body. Now it's athletics is such a science now that it's not just walking in the gym and lifting weights. You have to have the proper diet. You have to have a right amount of rest. You have to have the right equipment. You have to be safe. You have to be time efficient. All these things are on the scoreboard right now, as opposed to just going in the gym years ago.
Now tell us a little bit about Sorinex and what you all do.
Okay, I was a school teacher, and I always had a love for building things and weightlifting. And so I started a little business on the side. In 1980, I decided to go with it because I couldn't do two things. So in 1980, I started the company. It was just me and two others, and we used to build on our carports and whatever. And people kept coming back because they said it's built to last, built forever. And I used to overbuild everything. So there's still some of our pieces out there. And slowly the company progressed, and we started gathering things in, making it a whole big picture, not just I sell equipment. Well, we know what it does, what it's supposed to do. We should try to share that with others so they understand what the whole idea of training and staying healthy is.